Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Cinderella. After her mother passed away, her father remarried a woman. Thus, a stepmother came into her life, along with two daughters. When Cinderella's father died, her life changed drastically. Her stepmother and stepsisters treated her as a servant, forcing her to do all the household chores. Cinderella's days were filled with work, but she remained kind and hopeful. She found comfort in her animal friends, the mice, birds, and other little creatures that lived around the house. They were her only companions, always cheering her up when she felt lonely. One day, a royal messenger arrived at their home with an invitation to a grand ball at the palace. The prince was looking for a bride, and every eligible maiden in the kingdom was invited. Cinderella's stepsisters were thrilled and spent days preparing their outfits. But when Cinderella asked if she could go, her stepmother coldly said, "You can go if you finish all your chores and find something suitable to wear." Cinderella worked tirelessly, and with the help of her animal friends, she transformed an old dress into a beautiful gown. But when she showed it to her stepsisters, they became jealous and tore the dress apart, leaving Cinderella heartbroken. As her step-family left for the ball, Cinderella ran to the garden and cried. Suddenly, a warm light appeared, and an elderly woman with a wand stood before her. "Don't cry, my dear," she said. "I am your fairy godmother, and you shall go to the ball." With a wave of her wand, the fairy godmother transformed Cinderella's rags into a stunning gown, and her old shoes became sparkling glass slippers. She turned a pumpkin into a magnificent carriage and mice into horses to pull it. But remember, the fairy godmother warned, "The magic will end at midnight. You must return before the clock strikes 12. Cinderella arrived at the palace, and everyone was captivated by her beauty, especially the prince. He asked her to dance, and they spent the entire evening together, lost in each other's company. As the clock began to strike midnight, Cinderella remembered the fairy godmother's warning and quickly fled the palace, leaving behind one of her glass slippers on the grand staircase. The next day, the prince searched the kingdom for the girl who had captured his heart. He visited every home, trying the glass slipper on every maiden's foot. When he arrived at Cinderella's house, her stepsisters tried to fit into the slipper, but it was too small. Finally, Cinderella tried it on, and it fit perfectly. The prince recognized her at once and knew she was the one. They were soon married in a grand ceremony, and Cinderella's days of hardship were over. She and the prince lived happily ever after, while her stepfamily was left to ponder the consequences of their cruelty.